King Zaxthor's crystalline chamber pulsed with a soft azure glow as he lounged upon his quantum-forged throne. Holographic star charts danced around him like a swarm of luminescent butterflies, each point of light representing another world under his dominion. His scaled fingers traced lazy patterns through the projections, sending ripples through the galactic display. "Computer," he drawled, his dual-toned voice echoing off the prismatic walls. "Show me the next Conquest candidate." The artificial intelligence responded with silent efficiency, zooming the display to focus on a singular blue marble suspended in space. "Earth," he pronounced the word carefully, testing its foreign syllables on his triple-forked tongue. Behind him, Grand Advisor Vexmul cleared his throat, a sound like grinding crystals. "Your celestial magnificence, perhaps we should review the preliminary reports once more. Our observation drones have recorded some concerning anomalies about this species." Zaxthor waved one of his four arms dismissively, sending the holographic planet spinning. "Anomalies. Every species has its quirks, Vexmul. We've conquered 300 worlds. What could one primitive planet possibly offer in terms of surprise?" "Well, sire," Vexmul consulted his quantum tablet, its surface rippling with data streams. "Dr. Amanda Mitchell, their leading xenobiologist, somehow intercepted our standard peace treaty transmission. Instead of responding with fear or awe, the advisor's color-shifting skin paled to a sickly yellow. She sent it back with annotations and suggested revisions. The king's secondary heart skipped a beat. "She what?" His voice dropped an octave, causing the crystal fixtures to vibrate ominously. "She claimed our traditional surrender terms were, and I quote, needlessly verbose with multiple redundant clauses and outdated diplomatic protocols. She even attached a style guide. Sire." Zaxthor rose from his throne, all four arms clenching into fists. The holographic display responded to his agitation, swirling faster around the chamber. "In 3,000 years of conquest, no species has ever dared to edit our sacred texts. Show me this, Dr. Mitchell." The display shifted to show a human female, her presentation at the United Nations playing in real time. "As you can see," Dr. Mitchell was saying, gesturing to complex mathematical formulae behind her, "the alien civilization's faster-than-light drive actually violates their own stated laws of physics. I believe we can improve their efficiency by at least 40% by applying standard Earth quantum mechanics." "Impossible," Zaxthor hissed. "Their civilization hasn't even achieved lunar colonization. How could they possibly understand our quantum principles?" Vexmul nervously adjusted his ceremonial collar. "There's more, sire. Lieutenant Jessica Thompson of their Space Force has filed a formal complaint about our observation satellites violating their newly drafted aerospace regulations, and their entertainment industry has already begun producing something called merchandise based on leaked images of our ships." The king slumped back onto his throne, all four hands massaging his temples. "Have they at least shown proper terror at our military might?" "About that," Vexmul's skin shifted to an embarrassed purple. "They've apparently turned our battleship designs into something called phone wallpapers. They're quite popular among their adolescent population." Zaxthor's upper lip curled in disgust. "Ready the fleet. I will not be mocked by primitives who haven't even mastered antimatter containment. We'll show them the true might of the celestial dominion." "Yes, sire. Although," Vexmul hesitated, "you should know they're already selling tickets to the alien invasion. Something about premium viewing locations and commemorative t-shirts." The king's roar of frustration shattered 3 nearby crystal columns. As servants rushed to clean up the mess, he glared at the holographic Earth, spinning innocently in its projection. "We'll see how they maintain their arrogance when faced with the full might of our armada. Ready my personal flagship. I will oversee this conquest myself." As Zaxthor stormed out of the chamber, Vexmul quietly updated the invasion plans, adding a note about the humans' inexplicable ability to monetize their own potential conquest. Something told him this campaign would be very different from the others. Very different indeed. The Celestial Dominion's flagship emerged from hyperspace in a spectacular display of light and energy, positioning itself majestically above the Manhattan skyline. King Zaxthor stood at the command center, all four arms clasped behind his back, anticipating the waves of terror and awe that would sweep through the primitive civilization below. Instead, his ship's sensors registered an unprecedented surge in electromagnetic activity. Thousands of smartphones pointed skyward, their cameras capturing every angle of his arrival. #Alien Invasion 2025 was trending worldwide before his ship had even settled into position. "Your Magnificence," Vexmal reported, his scales shifting to an anxious green. "The humans are live streaming our arrival." "They're what?" Zaxthor demanded, but before he could receive an answer, multiple communication channels burst to life simultaneously. Lieutenant Jessica Thompson's face appeared on the main screen, her Space Force uniform pristine, and her expression professionally neutral. "Celestial Dominion vessel, this is Earth Space Command. You're currently in violation of International Aerospace Regulation 47B, subsection 12. Please adjust your altitude to comply with established orbital paths." The king's mouth gaped open, all three of his tongues momentarily speechless. "We're here to conquer you," he finally managed to sputter. "Yes, sir, we received your invasion notification," Lieutenant Thompson replied, checking her tablet. "However, you failed to file the proper environmental impact statements. Our analysts suggest your current position could interfere with at least 3 communication satellites and a weather monitoring station." Before Zaxthor could respond, the screen split into multiple sections. A Russian diplomat appeared, followed by representatives from China, India, and the European Union. "Your Most Celestial Excellence," the Russian diplomat began, "we formally protest this blatant favoritism toward American airspace. The Russian Federation demands equal consideration for first conquest attempts." "This is outrageous," the Chinese representative added. "We have historical claims to invasion rights that predate the current international framework." Vexamal's skin had turned a particularly sickly shade of yellow. "Sire, we're receiving similar protests from 27 other nations. Each is demanding equal representation in the conquest proceedings. Additionally, several corporate entities are filing preliminary injunctions regarding potential intellectual property violations of our technology." King Zaxthor slumped in his command chair. Just broadcast the surrender demands. Follow the standard protocol." The ship's AI complied, projecting a massive holographic message above the city. The king's pre-recorded speech began to play, his voice booming across the Manhattan skyline. "Primitive beings, tremble before the might of." Point of order. A new face appeared on screen. Amanda Mitchell, now apparently representing a hastily formed human legal committee. "Your broadcast violates several noise ordinances. We'll need you to fill out these forms for a public performance permit." She began uploading documents to their system. "Additionally," she continued, pushing up her glasses, "your holographic display technology appears to be based on principles similar to patents pending by multiple Earth corporations. Our lawyers would like to discuss potential licensing agreements." The king's mighty flagship now hovered uncertainly above the city, like a massive alien tourist who had taken a wrong turn. Below, street vendors were already setting up stalls selling hastily printed "I Survived the Alien Invasion" t-shirts. A food truck had unveiled its new Invader Special Burger. "Sire," Vexmal reported, his voice quavering, "several human entertainment networks are requesting exclusive broadcast rights to our conquest. They're offering quite competitive compensation packages, and someone called Instagram influencers are requesting permission to tour the ship for something called content creation." King Zaxthor stared at the cityscape below, where humans seemed to be treating his arrival like a combination of a legal proceeding and a festival. Some had even set up lawn chairs on rooftops, complete with snacks and scorecards to rate his invasion attempts. "Fall back," he ordered through gritted teeth. "Prepare the infiltration units." As the mighty flagship retreated to a regulation-compliant orbit, Lieutenant Thompson's voice came through one final time. Don't forget to file your flight plan for departure. And please remember to complete our first contact feedback survey. Your opinion matters to us. The King's frustrated roar was immediately auto-tuned and turned into a remix that topped the global music charts by sunset. Supreme Infiltrator Kexlar briefed his elite shape-shifting unit aboard their cloaked vessel, his form rippling with barely contained frustration. Our mission is simple: blend in, gather intelligence, and destabilize their power structures. Remember, these primitives have no concept of biomorphic capabilities. 6 hours later, he stared in disbelief at his datapad as Agent Mike Reynolds, head of Earth's newly formed Extraterrestrial Countermeasures Division, appeared on every screen in their command center. "Welcome to Earth's atmosphere," Reynolds announced with a knowing smirk. "We've been expecting your infiltration team. Quick tip: next time, don't all choose to look like Hollywood celebrities. It's a bit obvious when Chris Hemsworth shows up simultaneously in 7 different Starbucks." Kexlar's skin flickered between patterns of shock and outrage. "Impossible. How did they detect us so quickly?" His answer came in the form of a viral TikTok video. A teenage girl named Samantha Parker had launched a Spot the Shifter challenge that was spreading faster than their agents could adapt. Her criteria were devastatingly accurate. If they don't take selfies, don't have a social media history before today, and don't know about last week's memes, they're totally alien, bestie. In Seattle, one of their best agents blew his cover by not understanding the barista's reference to a trending cat video. Within minutes, #AlienCat meme was trending worldwide. "Sir," reported his second-in-command, "our infiltrator in Washington, D.C. has been compromised. She tried to attend a congressional hearing but didn't have an Instagram account. Security denied her entry immediately." Kexlar shifted through 17 different forms in rapid succession, a sign of extreme agitation in his species. "What about Agent Sexnor? He was our top graduate in human linguistics." About that." A holoscreen activated, showing their elite agent being interviewed on a popular morning show. The host, Kelly Adams, was showing him various viral memes, while the live audience watched his reactions. "So," Kelly asked, grinning, "what do you think about this one? It's got a cat making the grumpy face." The agent, disguised as a middle-aged professor, stared at the image with blank incomprehension. "I find this specimen's facial musculature to be operating within normal parameters." The studio audience erupted in laughter. The show's hashtag Spot Shapeshifter shot to #1 globally. In their command center, Kexlar watched in horror as social media turned their covert operation into the world's largest interactive game. YouTube channels dedicated to Alien Infiltrator Fails gained millions of subscribers overnight. Reddit threads analyzed surveillance footage with frightening accuracy, identifying their agents through the smallest behavioral tells. "Sir," another agent reported, "humans have created an app that scans for our unique biological signatures. They disguised it as a new Instagram filter." "How?" Kexlar demanded. "Their technology shouldn't be capable of." "Apparently, Dr. Amanda Mitchell reverse-engineered it from our ship's waste emissions data. She's published the code as open source, calling it a fun weekend project." The final blow came when a group of high school students in Minnesota started a viral dance challenge, mimicking shapeshifter transformation patterns. Their TikTok demonstration was so accurate that 3 infiltrators were exposed when they unconsciously started following along. Agent Reynolds appeared on their screens again, looking annoyingly pleased. You could have just made social media accounts and built up a realistic online presence before trying to infiltrate. Rookie mistake, really." Kexlar slumped in his command chair, watching as his elite infiltration unit was systematically exposed by teenagers with smartphones and too much free time. One of his agents had just been caught because he didn't understand why humans were suddenly throwing cheese slices at their cats' faces. "Supreme Infiltrator," his communications officer called out. Kane Zaxthor is demanding a status update. Kexlar stared at the chaos unfolding on multiple screens, his agents being caught on viral videos, memes about their failed disguises spreading across platforms, and now a Netflix documentary crew requesting interviews with captured shifters. "Tell His Magnificence," he sighed, his form unconsciously mimicking the grumpy cat meme he'd seen earlier, "that we may need to reconsider our approach to covert operations on this planet." Meanwhile, #ShakeShifterFashionFails had just become the most used hashtag in social media history. King Zaxthor's latest strategy meeting was interrupted by the sound of his chief technology officer slamming all four hands onto the conference table. "They'd done what?" the king demanded, his scales shifting to a dangerous shade of crimson. "They've improved our quantum drive design," the CTO repeated, pulling up a holographic display of a patent filing. Dr. James Anderson at MIT somehow interpreted our engine's quantum signature while we were in orbit, identified 3 major inefficiencies, and developed what he calls a more elegant solution to our gravitational wave manipulation. The king's eye stalks twitched with suppressed rage. "Impossible. We deliberately released outdated technology to destabilize their economy. How could they possibly?" "Your Magnificence," Vexmal interrupted, his skin a nervous shade of green. "You need to see this." He projected a live stream from Silicon Valley, where Ashley Cooper, former gaming developer turned tech entrepreneur, was holding a press conference outside her startup's headquarters. "Welcome everyone to the launch of Earth Tech Solutions," Ashley announced to the crowd. 6 weeks ago, the Celestial Dominion tried to crash our markets with their primitive tech. Today, I'm pleased to announce our first product line of human-enhanced alien technology. The camera panned to display a sleek device that looked suspiciously like a simplified version of the Dominion's Personal Shield generator. Our first product, the Personal Shield Pro, takes the basic concept of alien defense technology and adds what they forgot: style, user experience, and most importantly, a decent battery life. Kane Zaxthor watched in horror as she demonstrated the device, which was not only more compact than their original design but featured customizable shield colors and could be controlled through a smartphone app. "We're also launching with full integration into popular social media platforms," Ashley continued. "Share your shield status, customize your protection patterns, and yes, it comes with its own set of Instagram filters." In the Royal Command Center, reports were flooding in from across Earth. Dr. Anderson's team at MIT had published open-source schematics for improved versions of alien quantum computers. A group of high school students in Japan had figured out how to modify alien translation devices to handle emoji and internet slang. A startup in India was already mass-producing budget-friendly versions of Dominion medical scanners. "Sire," the CTO reported glumly, "our own troops are placing orders for the Earth versions. They claim the user interface is more intuitive, and the customization options are actually cool." The situation worsened when a notification popped up on the main screen. Dr. Anderson was going live on Twitch to demonstrate how their quantum drive improvements worked. His stream title: "Fixing Alien Tech, Not Clickbait," sponsored by Earth Tech Solutions. "Our engineers have identified the problem," Dr. Anderson explained to his audience of millions. "The Dominion's approach to quantum mechanics is unnecessarily complex. They're like someone who built a machine to crack an egg when you could just tap it on the counter." The chat erupted with laughing emojis and comments about alien over-engineering. Viewer counts soared as he walked through their proposed improvements, using gaming references and memes to explain complex quantum physics concepts. "Your Magnificence," Vexmal reported, "Earth Tech stock has just gone public. They're already valued higher than most mid-sized planetary economies in our empire." The king slumped in his throne as Ashley Cooper returned to the screen, unveiling their next product line. "Coming next month, gravity gear, because alien anti-gravity technology shouldn't require a user manual thicker than Earth's atmosphere." The final insult came when their intelligence division reported that human engineers had started a popular YouTube series called Willet Quantum, where they tested alien technology in increasingly creative ways. The episode where they used a modified Dominion power cord to create the world's most advanced gaming PC had broken viewing records across 3 galaxies. Recall all distributed technology immediately, Kane Zaxthor ordered, but it was too late. Earth's greatest minds had already reverse-engineered everything, improved it, made it user-friendly, and somehow turned it into content for their entertainment platforms. Meanwhile, Ashley Cooper's latest tweet was going viral. "Hey Celestial Dominion, thanks for the inspiration. P.S. Your shield generator's color scheme is so last millennium. Behold the sacred ritual of stellar ascendance." The Celestial Dominion's cultural broadcast began, showing high-ranking nobles performing their 1,000-year-old ceremonial dance. Within hours, Hollywood producer Mark Stevens sat in his office, pitching the hottest new reality show concept to streaming executives. "We're calling it So You Think You Can, Alien?" Mark gestured enthusiastically to his mock-up poster. Celebrity judges rating contestants performing alien cultural dances. It's got everything. Sparkly costumes, zero-gravity performances, and dramatic backstories. Meanwhile, in his throne room, Kane Zaxthor watched in mounting horror as his empire's most sacred traditions were transformed into primetime entertainment. "They're doing what with our sacred spiral of leadership?" he demanded, all 4 hands clutching his royal staff. "It appears," Vexmol reported, his scales shifting to an embarrassed purple, "that DJ Emma Martinez has remixed Your Magnificence's Decree of Dominion speech into something called a club banger. It's currently topped the global charts for 3 weeks straight." The King's emergency cultural preservation meeting was interrupted by a notification. The latest episode of Galactic Makeover, Dominion Edition, was streaming live. The show's host, interior designer Bradley Thompson, was critiquing the crystal architecture of their royal palace. "Honey, all this geometric crystalline stuff is so last millennium," Bradley declared, waving his hands dramatically. "Let's bring in some earth elements. Maybe some exposed brick, some industrial lighting. Really mix up those textures. And please, can we talk about their throne room's color palette?" Across Earth, alien fashion was being reinvented at lightning speed. The Dominion's formal military uniforms inspired a new line of streetwear called Cosmic Couture. Their ceremonial headdresses were reimagined as festival wear. Even their sacred mathematical symbols were showing up as trendy tattoo designs. "Your Magnificence," the cultural minister announced grimly. "A human called Ryan Parker has started a YouTube channel teaching our ancient royal language. He's making what they call educational memes about our grammar structure." The King pulled up the channel, watching in disbelief as a cheerful 20-something explained complex alien linguistic concepts using cat pictures and pop culture references. The comment section was filled with humans helping each other perfect their royal language pronunciation. And now, Ryan's latest video began. "Here's how to properly conjugate Dominion verbs, explained entirely through SpongeBob memes." The situation reached new levels of absurdity when celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay launched a cooking show called Cosmic Kitchen, adapting traditional Dominion ceremonial feasts into easy weeknight dinner recipes. "These aliens overcomplicate everything," Gordon ranted to his audience. "Their sacred energy spheres are just space boba tea. Here's how to make them in your bloody kitchen with regular Earth ingredients." King Zaxthor's personal meditation chamber, once a sanctuary of peace, now echoed with reports of Earth's cultural appropriation. Their sacred meditation chants had been turned into a popular yoga playlist. Their military marches were being used as background music for workout videos. Even their traditional greeting gestures had become a viral TikTok dance challenge. "Your Magnificence," Vexmol announced hesitantly, "the humans have discovered our historical archives. They're turning our past military defeats into something called historical comedy sketches." On Earth, entertainment companies were having a field day. Netflix announced a romantic comedy series about a human-alien dating app. Broadway producers were adapting the Dominion's creation myth into a musical. Their sacred astronomical calculations were being printed on phone cases and throw pillows. The final straw came when the King's own ceremonial speeches began appearing as motivational posters in Earth's office spaces, complete with inspirational quotes taken hilariously out of context. May our enemies tremble before our mighty crystalline fleet, now adorned coffee mugs in corporate break rooms worldwide. We must find a way to stop this cultural contamination, King Zaxthor declared, just as his communications officer nervously cleared their throat. About that, Your Magnificence, Earth's premier fashion magazine wants to feature you in their intergalactic influence issue. They say your royal robes have inspired a whole new category of sustainable fashion. The King's frustrated roar was immediately sampled and added to DJ Emma's latest remix, which promptly broke streaming records across 2 galaxies. King Zaxthor's patience had finally snapped. Launch the attack, he commanded, his voice echoing through the command center as thousands of warships moved into strike position around Earth. Let's see how they meme their way out of this. On Earth, Colonel Tom Bradley stood calmly in the Pentagon's new extraterrestrial defense command, watching multiple holographic displays with a slight smirk. They're right on schedule, he commented to Dr. James Anderson, who was furiously typing in a console nearby. How's our network holding up? 30 million gamers currently online, Anderson reported, grinning. Most of them think they're playing the beta test of Stellar Defense. Final stand. The distributed computing power is incredible. Above them, the Celestial Dominion's first wave of ships launched their attack. Energy weapons capable of leveling cities fired in perfect synchronization, only to splash harmlessly against an iridescent shield that sparkled like rainbow pixels. Inside his flagship, King Zaxthor's scales turned pale. What is this? Our sensors showed no planetary defense system. Incoming transmission, his communications officer announced. Multiple screens lit up, showing Colonel Bradley alongside popular gaming streamer Sarah Star Queen Rodriguez. Welcome to Earth's Defense Network, Sarah announced cheerfully to her live audience of millions. Today's stream is sponsored by the United Earth Defense Force. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You see, Bradley explained, as real-time battle statistics scrolled across the screen like a game leaderboard, we figured out that your shield technology could be powered by distributed quantum computing. The tricky part was finding enough processing power. Then we had a brilliant idea, Sarah continued, her avatar dancing across the screen. What if we turned planetary defense into the world's biggest multiplayer game? On screens across the globe, millions of gamers battled what they thought were computer-generated alien ships. Each player's actions contributed to the real planetary shield's calculations, optimizing defense patterns in real time through what they assumed was just really good game mechanics. Current shield strength at 98%, Anderson reported. We're trending on every gaming platform. The Chinese and Korean pro gaming teams are actually competing for best defense sector statistics. King Zaxthor watched in growing horror as Earth's youth casually gamified his military assault. Popular streamers were providing running commentary on his battle strategies, complete with instant replay breakdowns of rookie mistakes in his attack patterns. Your Magnificence, his tactical officer reported nervously, the humans have somehow turned our energy readings into something called boss fight mechanics. Their defense efficiency increases every time we attack. They're learning our patterns. The king slumped in his command chair as Twitch chat exploded with suggestions for counter-strategies against his fleet's predictable attack rotations. Someone had even created a speedrun category for repelling Dominion war vessels. Deploy the quantum disruptors, he ordered desperately. The Dominion's secret weapon launched, designed to scramble any computational defense system. Oh wow, new DLC already, Sarah commented excitedly. Chat, check out these awesome new enemy mechanics. Dr. Anderson's team had anticipated this move, activating the backup servers in every internet cafe from Seoul to Singapore, he announced. Plus, we got 1 million kids playing on their phones during lunch break. Try disrupting that distributed network. The quantum disruptors, faced with an endless array of small, unpredictable computing nodes, overloaded and shut down. On YouTube, dozens of channels were already uploading how to counter alien quantum disruptors. Easy guide. Tutorials. Your Magnificence. Vexmol reported, his scales as sickly yellow. Earth's gaming community has labeled our assault as mid-tier content, and they're asking when the real challenge begins. The final humiliation came when Earth's defense coordination system, designed to look exactly like a game's matchmaking lobby, automatically rated the Dominion's attack performance. King Zaxthor stared in disbelief at the assessment. Bronze tier. Needs improvement. Common mistakes. Predictable patterns. Poor adaptation. Lacks creative strategy. Colonel Bradley's voice came through one final time. Thanks for helping us test Earth's new defense system. The feedback from our gaming community has been invaluable. Would you like to stay for the post-game analysis stream? In the background, Sarah could be heard announcing, "Don't forget to use code ALIENS for 10% off your next gaming chair purchase." Now, let's break down that amazing shield reflection combo from the European server. Target their communication infrastructure. King Zaxthor commanded, his voice hoarse from hours of issuing increasingly desperate orders. Let's see how well they coordinate without their precious internet. In a converted basement server farm in Seattle, former tech support specialist turned cyber warfare expert Kevin Parker sipped his fifth energy drink of the day and smiled. They really don't get it, do they? He asked the room full of hackers and IT professionals who'd been preparing for this moment. Dominion vessels targeting major data centers, announced Jenny Martinez, their network monitoring lead. They're using some kind of quantum disruption beam. Cute, Kevin replied, typing commands rapidly. Activate Project Meme Vault. Across the globe, millions of smartphones, gaming consoles, and smart devices simultaneously lit up. The supposedly secret backup internet, built using modified alien quantum networks, sprang to life. Every device became a node in a massive mesh network, carrying not just emergency communications, but something far more important to Earth's population, their social media content. In his command center, King Zaxthor watched in confusion as his ship's attacks on major internet hubs seemed to have no effect. Why aren't their communications going down? Your Magnificence, his technical advisor reported, scales shifting to a puzzled blue. They've somehow turned every Earth device into a quantum relay. Their backup network has more nodes than there are stars in the galaxy. On the surface, the resistance wasn't what anyone expected. Instead of soldiers or weapons, there were thousands of teenagers setting up impromptu Wi-Fi hotspots. Coffee shops became command centers. Gaming caves transformed into digital fortresses. "Sir," Jenny called out, "the Dominion is trying to crack our encryption. Should we activate the countermeasures?" Kevin grinned, pushing up his glasses. "Release the Reddit threads." The alien decryption systems suddenly found themselves drowning in an ocean of seemingly random data, millions of archived memes, reaction GIFs, and decade-old forum arguments. Their AI analyzers crashed trying to find strategic patterns in endless debates about whether a hot dog was a sandwich. Your Magnificence, the increasingly frazzled technical advisor announced, their data structure makes no logical sense. Our pattern recognition software is detecting something called shitposting, and it's evolving faster than we can analyze it. In New York, a group of influencers had converted Times Square's digital billboards into a massive distributed storage system for Twitter's backup servers. In Tokyo, teenage girls were using custom-modified phones to maintain Instagram's neural networks through a complex web of cat photo sharing. They're protecting their social media platforms with more determination than their military bases, Vexmol observed, his skin turning a bewildered shade of green. This makes no tactical sense. King Zaxthor rage. Why defend such trivial data? Kevin's voice came through their communication system, along with what appeared to be a live stream of his desktop setup. "See, that's where you're wrong. You thought you could break our coordination by taking down our internet, But you don't understand. The memes are our coordination. On screens across the globe, humans were using seemingly random image macros and viral videos to encode and transmit strategic information. A well-placed SpongeBob meme could relay defense grid status. A strategically shared TikTok dance actually contained encrypted shield frequencies. Your Magnificence, the tactical officer reported, we're detecting millions of small quantum signatures. They appear to be Netflix watch parties. Those aren't just streaming services, Kevin explained, taking another sip of his energy drink. Every cat video, every shared meme, every angry tweet is part of our defense network now. Try to take down one node, and 1,000 others pop up. You can't stop what you can't understand. The king watched in dismay as his mighty fleet was repeatedly outmaneuvered by what appeared to be a planetary defense system, powered by social media algorithms and running on meme logic. Sir, his tactical officer added, their teenage population is treating our encryption attempts as a new TikTok challenge. They're turning our code-breaking efforts into dance moves. Kevin's voice came through one final time. By the way, this entire battle is being archived on Wikipedia. Feel free to check your page, though you might want to wait until the notable failures section stops being edited. King Zaxthor sat on his crystalline throne, all four hands massaging his temples, as Marine Corps veteran turned streaming sensation Rachel Sullivan's latest video played across every screen in the Dominion's capital ship. Her compilation of the invasion's greatest failures had somehow breached their firewalls and gone viral across 2 galaxies. And here's the moment, Rachel narrated cheerfully, when their supreme infiltrator got caught because he didn't know how to use a smartphone's selfie camera. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Top 10 Alien Invasion Fails. Your Magnificence, Vexmal reported, his scales shifting through various shades of distress. We have a situation in the Royal Academy. The students are, he paused, swallowing hard. They're wearing Earth fashion and speaking in human slang. The king's eye stalks twitched as security footage showed young nobles in hoodies and jeans, their traditional scale polish replaced with something called glitter highlight. In the background, Earth music played from modified quantum speakers. Yo, this whole divine right of kings thing is pretty cringe, Nagel, one young noble was saying to their study group. Like, imagine not having a constitutional monarchy in 2025. Kinda sus. Before the king could process this cultural crisis, his personal communicator chimed. His own children had launched a YouTube channel called Royal Family React, and their first video was trending across the empire. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. His eldest daughter waved at the camera, her royal regalia accessorized with what appeared to be a vintage Earth denim jacket. Today we're going to be reviewing Earth's democratic systems and why they're literally so much better than absolute monarchy. But first, don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe. The royal court was in chaos. Young nobles were organizing flash mobs in the sacred halls. The military academy's graduating class had replaced their traditional war cry with a synchronized TikTok dance. Even the High Council had started ending their sessions with "Thanks for coming to my TED talk." Your Magnificence, his communications officer interrupted. Earth's major streaming platforms are offering you a very lucrative deal. They want to turn the invasion attempt into a reality show called How to Lose a Planet in 10 Days. King Zaxthor slumped deeper into his throne as reports flooded in from across the empire. The Quantum Engineering Corps was live-streaming their study of Earth's superior technology modifications. The Royal Language Academy had officially accepted bruh and yeet as formal court vocabulary. Someone had even started a change.org petition to redesign the imperial flag to be more aesthetically pleasing for the gram. Father, his youngest son, entered the throne room, wearing what appeared to be a Supreme X-Royal House collaboration hoodie. We need to talk about our brand image. Our engagement metrics are suffering, and the Empire's official TikTok account is seriously underperforming. The final blow came when Rachel Sullivan's latest video revealed that humans had turned the entire invasion into a case study for their business schools. Traditional hierarchical management versus Earth's adaptable chaos. A Harvard Business Review special report. Looking around his formerly austere throne room, now dotted with ring lights and podcast microphones, Cain Zaxthor finally accepted reality. His empire hadn't just failed to conquer Earth, they'd been thoroughly conquered by Earth's culture instead. Your Magnificence, Vexmul approached cautiously. The Galactic Council is requesting an official statement about our new constitutional monarchy referendum. Also, your daughter's makeup tutorial using traditional royal face paint has gone viral, and several Earth cosmetics companies are requesting collaboration deals. The king stood up, straightened his robes, which someone had accessorized with what they called a streetwear vibe, and made his decision. Schedule a live stream, he commanded. It's time to announce the Empire's rebrand. Hours later, Cain Zaxthor sat before a professional streaming setup, facing not just his subjects but millions of viewers across Earth and the galaxy. Hey fam, he began, reading from the script his children had prepared. Today we're announcing some major changes to the Celestial Dominion's user experience. The stream broke all existing records, and #EmpireRebrand trended across 3 galaxies. Earth's marketing professionals called it the greatest pivot in political history, while the Empire's youth celebrated with an empire-wide synchronized dance challenge. And somewhere in the royal archives, a new document was added. The Constitution of the Democratic Republic of the Celestial Dominion. Like and subscribe for amendments.